I'm Maddie, and this is the Pro Bike Supply After Dark review of the all-new Yeti LTE, the e-bike that Yeti's fleet has been missing. This is the new Yeti LTE, and for the past month, this has been my companion out on the trails. I've gotten the chance to ride this bike, put it through its paces, and really fall in love with almost every aspect of this bike. When I say almost every aspect, I'm really just talking about this color, which I personally am not a huge fan of. But anyways, once you get a chance to ride this bike, you will see exactly what I'm talking about how this bike is truly one step above the competition. Now let's talk spec. Here on the bike that I've been railing, we have the T3 build, which doesn't feature any super fancy or special parts. And in my opinion, that's actually a huge win. Yeti has opted for what simply works. It's a masterclass in selecting components that perfectly balance performance, unwavering durability, and smart weight savings. We're talking about simple spec choices like the SRAM XO transmission, Fox 38, and the all-new monotube Fox X2. Now, it should be noted, I like the feeling of the shock more, but only time will tell if it's more reliable than the old versions. DT Swiss XMC carbon wheels are absolute workhorses that are still surprisingly light. Maven silver brakes give you phenomenal stopping power, but being a lighter rider, I could opt for going for some red MTX pads. At its heart, it has the Bosch Gen 5 drive system, which features the new Kiox 400 screen, which is now touchscreen and color. For me, the only gripe that I had on spec was the Schwalbe radial tires, which don't work for my riding style, so instead I swapped them out for some Continental Crip Totals. And a plus for buying a bike from Pro Bike Supply, we offer you, the customer, the ability to change out to any tires on any new bike that you buy. The traction, it's just insane. Seriously, it feels like hero dirt all year round. This is where Yeti's Sixfinity truly shines. And for me, coming off of the Switch Infinity system of the SB140 and the SB160, the Sixfinity felt noticeably more supple off the top. It just kind of glued the rear wheel to the ground. At first, the setup did take a little bit of time. I started off a little undersprung, but after some test laps and adding some air, the bike really felt great. Again, the grip from the rear tire and the traction that the bike had was the main takeaway for me. Picture this. You're sliding into a flat corner, pushed it hard, and the rear wheel just hooks up. Or you're dropping into a steep, loose rock roll, and you've got so much grip that you're able to modulate your speed with total confidence. And those technical, punchy climbs we have here in Southern California, done, effortlessly. It's not just mechanical grip. The Bosch system has this almost traction control-like quality that ensures you never spin out. It's always delivering the exact power that you need, when and where you need it. Over the last month, I've spent plenty of time sessioning parts of trails to figure out exactly how far this bike can be pushed. We've got some lips that'll launch you pretty far, often into gnarly, chunky landings, and the LTE maintains its composure through all of this. And it's kind of eerily quiet. I kept landing off of the ski jump on Telonics, pushing it farther and farther, and it messed with my head a little bit because on other bikes I'm used to hearing this loud clack, or you hear the bike land and you just have all the suspension movement and articulation that you just kind of hear. This thing was silent. It landed, and each time I could hear what the tires were doing, I heard where I had grip, and it just went smoothly without a second thought. And it should be noted, I'm very used to an added level of stability that comes with these e-bikes, but the LTE takes that to a completely new level. I'm personally a huge fan of the 29-inch wheels that they have front and rear, but for those who prefer, it is mullet compatible. You just use one of the provided flip chips, and your geometry remains totally unaffected. Again, no compromises there either. Let's take a moment and dive into the genius of the geometry and the frame. We've got an adjustable leverage rate with those fantastic chips, a confidence-inspiring 64-degree head tube angle, and a perfectly steep 78-degree effective seat tube angle. 160 millimeters of rear travel pairs with 170 millimeters up front, and it's ready for anything you can throw at it. The ZS4456 head tube standard is great for riders who want to tinker and customize. And in Yeti's words, A spec decision optimized for aftermarket reach and angle adjust headsets. Again, all of these details come together and show you that Yeti did build a bike that is uncompromising in every aspect of its design. Finally, we're going to talk about the power. I have my little cheat sheet here so I don't miss any details, so please excuse that. The muscle behind this bike comes from the new Bosch Gen 5 drive unit, which offers 100 Newton meters of torque and 750 watts of peak power. Now, they do have a CX race motor on the T4 Ultimate build, which is 100 grams lighter, has a lighter spindle, ceramic bearings, and a more aggressive race mode. The bike does come stock with an 800 watt-hour battery, but if you want to go for something a little bit lighter, you can spec a 600 watt-hour battery, although you do have to buy it separately. And of course, being a Bosch-powered bike, this is already PowerMore compatible, so you just need to buy the battery. Overall, the Bosch system is powerful, efficient, and reliable, which are ultimately the three wishes that I have for it in an electric e-bike motor. A feature that they wanted me to point out is the fact that you can actually charge your phone, your lights, your Garmin, or any other small accessories from the USB-C port on the Kiox 400 screen. For me, this seems a bit useless, but I'm also not the customer to be gauging this sort of feature on. So, what does this all add up to? You want a bike that's insanely confident going downhill? Check. You want a bike that has the power and traction to climb anything? Done. You want a bike that catches people's eyes? It's the Yeti. I hate to break it to you, but with an expensive price tag typically comes a very high quality product. And Yeti didn't miss the bar this time. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more awesome content, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. We'll see you on the trails.
Oh my Jesus. I love that trail. Holy, that was a lot of speed.